What is up, y'all? We are back heading out to Cape Coral this afternoon, so I have some time during this drive. So I wanted to jump on here and check in with you guys and talk about intentional change and what that looks like. My mentor, John Huffman, sent me a reel this morning, and it was Patrick Bet-David talking about intentional change, people who intentionally make changes in their life. He was explaining how most people, they wait until they're in a really bad situation or until they get hurt in order to make changes in their life that they need to make. And that winners and people who overcome and adapt and are able to make these big leaps that seem like big leaps to the people around them are the people who are able to intentionally change. So that really got me thinking this morning about what does that really look like and how does a person implement that in their life? So I started to think about my own life over the past 5 to 7 years and how I've been able to make changes. And it all starts with being honest with yourself, looking yourself in the mirror, being able to self-reflect, be self-aware enough to be honest with yourself and say, where are the areas where I absolutely need to get better? And where are the areas where I'm putting my energy that are not serving me? And what are the behaviors that I need to change in order to have an outcome that serves me better? Now, it's easy to say and it sounds really pretty, but doing it takes time. Doing it's going to take you 3, 4, 5 times of saying you're going to make this change, then having an opportunity, maybe a situation presents itself where you get to, let's just say, be more optimistic, have a better outlook when problems happen. Maybe that's one thing that you need to change. I know it was for me, was just being negative about situations automatically. So you're going to say to yourself, okay, I'm going to start to have more faith when things go wrong, and I'm also going to start having a more positive outlook and look at the things that are good about the situation, not just the bad things. So then a situation might come around and you don't do that, but halfway through the situation you realize, oh, I'm not doing that. Make the change right there and start to have a more optimistic outlook for the rest of whatever the situation is. Then the next time might come around and you recognize it a little bit sooner and a little bit sooner until one day the situation will happen, and before you react in whatever way you normally react, you have the thought, no, this is an opportunity to change that. This is my opportunity. And when you do that, it feels really, really good inside. But it takes time. So what happens is people, they have those 2, 3, 4 times before they recognize it, and they say, well, this is just how I am. This is just the way that I am, and I'll always be that way. But I never accepted that. My mother used to say to me about business in the beginning, can't you just be happy with what you have? And can't you just, be grateful for this? And why do you have to go for more? Why do you have to do this and do that? And I love my mother, and this is her just trying to protect me from the difficulty ahead. And I would always say to her, I am happy with the progress I've made and where I'm at, but I don't accept it for my life forever. So I've always kind of had that, I just don't accept this. It's the way that it is now, but I don't think it has to be forever. But the only way you change that is to change yourself, because that's the only thing that you can control. So that's number one, being self-aware enough to recognize how you interact with the situation and what you can change to try to provide a better outcome for yourself. The number 2 is having the discipline to start to build some of that self-awareness and self-confidence. People think, I've said this before, people think that self-confidence is either a thing that you have or a thing that you don't have. And that could not be further than the truth. Self-confidence, in my opinion, is built by the stacking of accomplishments, the small accomplishments, when you tell yourself you're going to do something. And that could be as simple as waking up at the same time every day. if after 2 days you just stop doing that, you're telling yourself that it's okay to compromise. And what I tell myself, I don't follow through with. Whether you're saying that out loud or not, that's subconsciously the story that you're physically showing yourself. So you need to stack these small wins so that when a situation comes up where you need some self-confidence, you can look behind you and see the stacks of accomplishments where you've told yourself you're going to do something and you push through it to the end. That's the only way that I got through college. I realized in my sophomore year that I probably was not going to get to the point where I could build the life that I wanted and make the type of money with this degree unless I went further after my bachelor's degree. But I had told myself for so long I was going to do this. And I went back to college in my adult life after, having half of my 20s be just disruption, just me out doing what I wanted, no focus. So I said to myself, no, this is an opportunity right now to prove to myself when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And that's literally the reason why I got my degree, and I never gave up, because I didn't want to reinforce to myself that I'm a quitter. There had been a lot of situations in my life where I just didn't fully commit. I told myself I would, and I didn't. That's another reason why when I got my contractor's license, I told everybody who would listen that I'm going out to do this, because I wanted the pressure to be on. I wanted to tell everybody I was doing this and then prove them all right. So that's something that you have to develop, is that discipline, and then stack those small wins. And another way that you create long-lasting change is to have people that you're accountable for these things. Have your partner or a friend where you explain to them the situation. You explain to them, hey, I want to get better in these areas, and make sure that they hold you accountable, because sometimes we need that external push. It's just the reality of it. And when you have good people in your life, they can be that person that you don't want to go up to and tell that you didn't do what you said you were going to do. And these things are going to help intentionally change your life. I know I'm kind of rambling right now, but I just see it so much in people that they don't have the discipline to tell themselves they're going to do something and then do that. They let themselves come up with excuses. And if you can create that voice inside of you that says, no, this is who I am. I am who I say I am. And do it, man, I'm telling you, your life gets better. And you think that these things are making your life more difficult, but they really give you more freedom when you're able to tell yourself you're going to do something and then accomplish it. That's probably the biggest thing you need to do, is start keeping your promises to yourself. And it doesn't mean, like I said in the very beginning of this video, you can have the idea for change. Like, let's just say I'm going to be nicer to my spouse when we're having a disagreement. And it might take you 3, 4, 5 disagreements before you're able to calm down initially and approach the situation in a better way so that you both have a better outcome. So it's repetitions, it's recognizing, it's being honest and self-aware. And I think that people are seriously lacking self-awareness in today's world, and for whatever reason it could be, I'm not the guy to say why, but it's very apparent. And people don't have the confidence in themselves. They might go out in the world and they might put their chest out, but they know when they lay their head down at night that they don't do what they tell themselves they're going to do. So that's been something that's been really important to me. When I tell myself I'm going to do something, there is no negotiation. There is no, well, we'll start Monday. No, we're going to do what we say we're going to do. So, this is kind of an all over the place video, but these are important things to instill in yourself. And especially, as a young man, maybe you're a young man in your 20s, and you're dealing with anxiety and you're dealing with depression, and you just don't know how you can get to the place where you have more confidence and you're more motivated. It's going to start with the self-awareness to say, where are these areas that I'm lacking? Then tell yourself you're going to change them and follow through day by day by day. Small wins that become big wins. So when it's time and you need to apply this new version of yourself, you can look behind you and you can see all of the steps you've taken to get to where you're at. And that's how you're going to build the self-confidence. And that's how you're going to have intentional change in your life that produces you better results. So I hope that helps somebody today. Like always, like this video so other people can find it. Leave me a comment of some areas and some ways that you created intentional change in your life and how your life is better now because of it. And like always, hit that subscribe button. We're growing in subscribers. We're almost to 1,100 subscribers. Leave me a comment of what we should do in our community when we get to that accomplishment. Is it every 100 subscribers still we do something cool in our community? Or do we make it something bigger? When we hit 500 more subscribers, we go out and we do something even bigger and even cooler, and maybe even something that I can involve you guys in video. I don't like the idea of when I go give the donations videotaping that just seems ugly to me. So maybe it's something cooler. Maybe we go volunteer somewhere for a local event and we bring you along and we do some shorts along the way so you can see what's going on. But I need you guys to have some input on this. So leave me a comment, hit that subscribe button. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'll talk to you later.